So good afternoon, students. Here we are going to discuss about some of the aspects which are in JavaScript. So we will conclude what is exactly a JavaScript deals about. Then afterwards we will start the fourth unit and we will see what are the features which are available under VBscript. Okay. So let us get into the details. First of all, let me overview or conclude what exactly JavaScript will do. Okay. So coming to the JavaScript, so according to the JavaScript, so it is coming to this one. This is object-oriented scripting language. Okay. First point. It is JavaScript is a scripting language which is object-oriented based. Now coming to the second point. So and also it is developed by who developed JavaScript? Netscape. Netscape is a domain, or the firm who developed the JavaScript is Netscape. Now coming to the which type of a language and which sort of a language is JavaScript, and what sort of applications can be developed using JavaScript. We can develop applications which are client side scripting language. So only we can develop applications which are at client side using JavaScript, and they are dynamic in nature. Now coming to the fourth point, that is what we learned is it is a case sensitive. Okay, it is case sensitive. It means, what is case sensitive? A is not equals to A. It obviously this is a small letter, this is a capital letter. So we cannot write instead of capital A small letters. That is what we have. So small h will be small h, capital H will be capital H. So we should not use in case of capital A, small a. So that is what case sensitive is. Now coming to the fifth point. So where we can execute JavaScript? JavaScript can be executed on browsers. So which browsers? They are executed in browsers like IE, Firefox, and other one. See, I am mentioning the names and so on. So they are executed. That is, JavaScript is executed on browsers, several browsers. Now coming to the next point. So which sort of a language? Now coming to the sixth point. So according to the JavaScript, it can be run in any browser. Either it may be Internet Explorer, Firefox, or Google, any kind of browser. And One more important point is it is the default script. Okay, it is a default scripting language use default script for web browsers. Okay, so it is a default script which is used in several web browsers like IE, Firefox, or Google or Opera, any kind of. So coming to the one of the feature, let me write here. The seventh point. So how the important feature of JavaScript is functions. Okay. So how we are supposed to denote functions in JavaScript? In JavaScript, we denote functions by using a function name. Okay. Function name followed by parenthesis, followed by open curly brace and a close curly brace. So we use the block of the function will be denoted using curly braces. Okay. Now coming to the JavaScript, one more important point is it uses plus symbol. According to JavaScript, it uses plus symbol for one second. Symbol. Okay, symbol for both, that is addition and concatenation. Okay, so plus symbol is used for both addition and concatenation in JavaScript. So these are some of the features which are available in JavaScript. Coming to the next one, how it will be saved. Ninth point, a JavaScript file will be saved with an extension that is .js. Okay. Is saved using .js. Okay. Extension should be .js. So this is what we learned up to now regarding JavaScript. That is, it is an object-oriented based language. It supports not only object-based, but also it uses some of the features of module-based programming like C language. So one of the feature is functions. So, and the second point is who developed the JavaScript. The firm who developed the JavaScript is Netscape. Next, it is a client-side scripting language because we can design only applications which are dynamic in nature as part of the client-side systems. So, coming to the fourth, that is, it is a case sensitive. So you have to write the syntax or any keywords as it is. Okay. And next one, it can be run on any kind of browser. Okay. And next one, and it is a default scripting language which will be adapted to every browser like IE, Firefox, or Google, or any kind of a browser. It is a default scripting language which will be adapted. Now coming to the next point, it is that is functions which are used in JavaScript will be denoted by function name followed by open and close curly braces. And one more the important feature is a plus symbol is used for both addition and subtraction. Okay. Sorry, addition and concatenation. Sorry, addition and concatenation. Now coming to the last one, the file name which is created. The file name to which we can save is .js. Extension will be used for a file is .js. So this is about JavaScript. Now coming to the next one. Now we are going to see unit 4, that is the VBscript. So we are discussing about VBscript right now. So what is this? When we compare JavaScript to VBscript, JavaScript is object oriented as I told you. But whereas VBscript, it is active scripting language. Okay, active scripting language, active based scripting language, or we can say that it is one sort of a dynamic nature which can be adapted. Okay, and because it is an active scripting language, because VBscript is said as an active script language because of one of the important feature is COM. Okay, so this is a feature which is used as part of VBscript, that is component object and model. Component object model. So what is the specialty of this component object model? So component object model is one kind of a feature which is available in VBscript, which makes the communication of two different objects to happen. Okay, it is to access the objects by communicating with each other. Okay, whenever it has been used, like in operating system we has IPC, we have IPC, that is inter-process communication. So similarly, COM is one kind of a model which will allow the users to communicate, to establish a communication between two different types of objects or two different types of elements. So to make them happen, COM will be used. So next one, who developed this VBscript? VBscript is a whole and sole property of Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft developed VBscript. So whereas JavaScript, it has been developed by Netscape language. Now coming to the which sort of a language is VBscript, which sort of applications it will support. So it will support not only client side, but also it supports server side scripting also. Okay, it supports both client side and server side scripting. It means we can develop applications which are dynamic in nature, and they can be used on client systems as well as the server systems also. And coming to the next important point, whether it is case sensitive or not. Actually, it is case insensitive. What do you mean by this case insensitive? Case sensitive means we have to use as it is keywords. It will not be misspelled. Okay. So according to the VBscript, it is a case insensitive. It means we can use any kind of a signature. That is, if you are Let us say that the keywords are misspelled also, it can be done. Okay. Now, on which browsers it can be executed? So it can be executed on only one browser, that is IE. So it cannot be run on every browser. Okay, that is what VBscript is meant for. VBscript is executed on only one browser, that is IE. That is IE. Now coming to the next important point. So it is not the default scripting language because it is only executed on Internet Explorer. So it will not be the default scripting language for every browser. So the point you can mention here is it is not a default scripting language. Okay, it is not a default scripting language because it supports only Internet Explorer, not all the browsers. So coming to the next one. So in JavaScript, we used a plus symbol for both operations like addition and concatenation, but in VBscript, we use and symbol for concatenation and plus symbol for addition. So it means we are using two different symbols to represent addition and concatenation. Next, coming to the next point, that is how functions will be denoted. How functions will be denoted in VBscript. So functions will be denoted and there will be an end function will be there. In JavaScript, we used something like open and curly braces. Okay, something like this. But it is not used in VBscript. It uses a function and end function. These are the two names which are used for denoting a function. Okay. Now coming to the next point, which sort of extension will be used? So what are the file name extensions which are used in VBscript? So .vbs or .vba are the two file name extensions which are used in VBscript. So if you write any program belonging to the VBscript, then they must be saved under extension, that is file name .vbs or file name .vba. Okay. So these are some of the important things to be known regarding VBscript. So because it is executed on only one browser, so it has limited features, but it supports both client-side and server-side scripting. Because of its one nature, that is because of its one browser executable applications, it will not be preferred mostly. Okay, VBscript will not be preferred mostly in other browsers or not supported by different browsers. So where this VBscript is majorly used for. So VBscript is majorly used in designing, as I told you, it will be used in client side and server. Okay, client side and server side applications. So according to the Microsoft, so whichever products have been developed or released by the Microsoft, they will be having some methods to access this VBscript. So VBscript will be used in most of the Microsoft released products. So one of the programming languages like .NET, okay, under .NET we will be using mostly VBscript for designing the client side and server side applications, okay, and and it is one of the main important aspects which are used in .NET framework. Okay, so without VBscript, some of the applications can be developed, but according to the .NET, VBscript will be used for most of the client and server applications design. So who developed .NET? Again, it is a Microsoft. It is a Microsoft related product. .NET is a, so the applications or the languages which have been designed by Microsoft will be using VBscript. So some of the products which have been released by Microsoft is something like Microsoft Word, Access, PowerPoint. So these are some of the things which have been developed and released by the Microsoft. So VBscript can create such kind of an applications, okay, such kind of applications also. Now coming to the details about programming language. So whatever programming languages, most of the programming languages will be built on different types of operators, data types or functions. So same VBscript also using some of the operators, data types and control structures. So according to this, operators in script, VBscript. So some of the operators which are mostly supported by this VBscript is arithmetic operators, second one logical operators, third one comparison, next fourth one concatenation. What is a concatenation operator? This is ampersand symbol. Now coming to the next operators, that is relational. So these are some of the operators which are used in VBscript. So whatever operators which have been used in JavaScript, similarly the VBscript also supports the same thing. There is a slight difference between them. Like some of the operators have different functionality in JavaScript, whereas in VBscript it has a different definitions. So, so these are some of the operators which are supported by the VBscript. Now coming to the other part, there are some reserved words, keywords are there. Coming to this VBscript, just now I told you it is executed on VBscript. Sorry, VBscript will be executed on IE. Okay, and one of the important development or important application development of VBscript is in .NET we have ASPs, that is nothing but active server pages. Like in Java we have .java source files. Similarly here active servers pages, that is ASPs, ASP.ASP. So whenever you design some applications regarding this VBscript, it will be helping in developing this kind of applications. So according to the VBscript, so what exactly the disadvantage of VBscript is? So the VBscript disadvantage is it can be executed only on one browser. So it is not preferred by most of the applications or most of the browsers as a default scripting language. So that is one of the disadvantage. Okay, debugging, and one more thing, debugging is also difficult. And when compared to the JavaScript, VBscript has the fast interpreter. Okay, coming to the JavaScript, when we compare interpreters, JavaScript and VBscript, it is slow and it is fast. Okay, interpreters which are used in JavaScript, interpreters are nothing but converting the language or the processing of your code. We need some kind of a interpreters in the browsers. So similarly, JavaScript has a slow processing speed when compared with the VBscript. So the next thing is, so regarding variables in VBscript, so coming to the variables, so there are certain rules which have been defined by VBscript in creating a variables. So they are, in variable name must begin with an alphabet. Okay, every variable name should begin with alphabet. Okay, next one, second rule, that is it should not exceed, variable name should not exceed 255 characters. Next one is, and it should not contain a dot operator. This operator, dot operator, will not be used as the name of the variable, and it should be unique in nature. Okay, according to the variables rules which have been declared. So to declare any variable as part of VBscript, we will use a keyword called as dim, and this is variable. Okay, this is used for creating variables. Similarly, when we want to create two or more variables, we use a dim followed by variable 1 and variable 2, and there should be a comma in between. So this is what we used for creating variables in VBscript. But in JavaScript, we use something like var n1, okay, like this we used. But whereas in VBscript, we will not use that one. Okay, in VBscript, we will be using this one, this keyword.